It's Spoilerin time. This is the companion show to Cordkillers, where we watch something fun and then talk about it. This week, we are going to talk about Good Omens, Season 2, Episode 5, Justified City Primeval, Season 1, Episode 7, and Miami Vice, Season 4, Episode 20, A Bullet for Crockett. I'm Tom Merritt. He's Brian Brushwood.
Hey, man, I got to apologize, guys. This was a very weird week. There's only one college show that I do now for the magic show, and I don't worry about it very much because there are 3 magicians, and I trust all of us. This year, I landed. I only packed 25 minutes of material because the only way we've screwed up this show before is by overloading it. And I landed, and then one of the performers said, "I definitely am not going to be able to make it." And then the other performer said, "Well, I mean, I'm at the airport. I'll likely make it." And I had to sit with the possibility that suddenly I was going to be the only performer for 90 minutes for 500 freshmen. And so I went to Walmart. Anyway, I've had a week and I intended to be caught up on all 3 episodes, but I must confess that, in fact,
What did you not watch? Oh, are you going to hold it? Okay.
Well, fine. You know what? I will hold it because you're my audience now, Bryce.
All right. Did you watch Good Omens?
Oh my God.
You have to tell me yes or no, because I'm deciding whether to start with Good Omens or not. Did you watch Good Omens?
Oh, I thought you were starting the segment.
No.
Yes,
I'm asking you a question. Did you watch Good Omens?
I did.
Okay, good. Let's start with Good Omens, Season 2, Episode 5, The Ball. This is a sort of a Jane Austen-y ball, which was out of nowhere. And it's the fulfillment of the promise of, like, we're going to do something to get these 2 together and fall in love, because that's the miracle we need to pull off. Brian, I feel like you got a lot to say about this one.
Yeah, and I promise I won't overstep.
Just talk.
I don't know if it's because I just watched it 30 minutes ago, or if it's because I'm in the headspace of seeing everything through a certain lens. But in this marketing book I'm writing, I was thinking about push-pull dualities of like one of them is gifts versus everything you do is either a gift or a harvest. And when I'm in the middle of writing a book on marketing, and I see, what's the name of our good guy?
Aziraphale?
Aziraphale. When I see him going around essentially doing marketing, what he wants in each of those segments is for people to commit to coming to the meeting. And I'm watching him do it so bad. And of course, that's on purpose because that's fun to watch. He's trying to harvest before he gives or so on. But then he reveals that he has. And I know Neil Gaiman is a magician, and so he made many call outs to very specific things in niche communities. I watched this episode was pitched as a very expensive episode in which we were told a horde of demons in some CGI hellscape were going to destroy a bookshop. And instead, it's Tom Merritt, let me just sum it up. This may be the single best deconstructible representation of hypnosis I have ever seen, because I went in with the headspace of noting to myself, which were the gifts? Oh, that's a very rich landscape. Oh, that's a funny little 3-second gift, harvest. Oh, he should be gifting and harvesting here or there, whatever. And then
gifting and harvesting meaning like offering something and then like taking something because they feel gratitude or indebted or whatever, right?
Exactly. Like we kept seeing him saying, "Hey, come to the meeting," and which is a harvest, and nobody wanted to go to the meeting, and then he would give a gift. And the whole point of my book is give the gift first and then do a harvest. But as I was watching the characters seduce each other into committing to going to the meeting, I got a little bit distracted, Tom, And suddenly I realized, oh, wait, why are we in a Jane Austen novel? And then I thought to myself, oh my God, it's not the characters who were slowly seduced and hypnotized. It was me. I got tricked. I was promised a horrific demonic invasion. And at exactly, 37 minutes or so, I realized you guys are going to, you tricked me. You did it because I'm going to watch you gently discuss things with each other. And I'm going to count that as good enough. And then like a real piece of work, that Neil Gaiman, he has to drop the mic and there's a line of dialogue where they point out that they've been hypnotized. And I'm like, oh, you sons of guns, get out of here. It's true. I literally got hypnotized. Just a bunch of gentle nudges and I found myself at a different place and I don't know how I got there.
Yeah. And true to Aziraphale's character, like to him, Jane Austen is practically contemporary. So, that shouldn't stick out. That should work. It was fun to sort of slowly realize, like you're saying, that, wait a minute, they're all dancing old fashioned and talking old fashioned, except for, and then you knew that the Legion, which is not a legion, was going to be fairly incompetent, but you thought there'd be more of a battle than that. And then, throw in a bunch of Doctor Who references and boom, you got yourself an amazing episode. I love this. This is great.
Bryce, did you see it?
I did. This is a really good episode. It's kind of a shame that this show is an hour long because this episode doesn't feel good for being an hour long. Like, this episode felt really watery. It made me realize, like, oh yeah, that's kind of why we've been doing these mini episodes the past 3 weeks, because the actual thing here is very short. Like, you're right, Brian. Like, last week they told us we were going to get a huge demon horde, and then we kind of saw a few of them, and then they have the fight, but the actual thing will be next week. The actual thing will be next. Like, we're really getting strung along here, and it's a shame because
only
the
6
writing's
episodes.
great.
It's not that bad.
I know.
Yeah, short attention span theater. My gosh.
But Gabriel going out and trying to give himself up and not being able to convince anyone that he's him.
That was
so good. That, by the way, was the moment that I realized I had been hypnotized. The moment he stepped out. I was like, I literally had to hit pause because I'm writing these note cards for the marketing book, and I had to write down, "You got hypnotized," and I wrote down the time code and I set it down.
That's amazing. Scooper Nova Girl says it was Pride and Prejudice and zombies.
It really was. Yeah.
The mask bit.
Good call.
Someone in the chat mentioned the mask bit. That mask gag was so funny. Like, for those of you who don't have good faces for the real world, we'll give you masks. And then a minute later, not right after, but a minute later, they're out there and only some of them have the little blue paper COVID masks on. And it's like covering all.
I totally missed that.
No, it was so good.
Well, and because I was watching and because I got hypnotized, like I was watching it through the filter of production quality, for aesthetics and for pacing and for dialogue or whatever. And I made a game of it. And I think that's why I got so is I was like, look at everything and then think of everything you feel and ask if it's a gift or a harvest. Like the person who previous episode was like, give me demons, I'm a one-dimensional character, suddenly becomes a relatable protagonist when she's trying to... It's all marketing because she's trying to give a speech to inspire the other demons, and she's terrible at it because she's trying to harvest before the gift and so on. And then meanwhile, Neil Gaiman, of course, already knows all this.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on Good Omens? I think that's it because, like Bryce said, the big events are coming in the next episode.
I liked it very, very much. What about you, Bryce?
Boy, I would love a 30-minute version of the show. But it's good.
That's good.
It's yeah.
That's Good Omens, Season 2, Episode 5. Let's talk about Justified City Primeval, Season 1, Episode 7. Brian,
Didn't
how much
watch
of
it.
this did you watch?
Nope. I couldn't make it. I ran out of time. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Man, you missed a hell of an episode to miss. I don't know. I am like into this show now. It is like horseshoed around from being like kind of schlocky to being hyper schlocky. I mean, is Raylan normally so innocent and dumb?
He plays dumb. He plays dumb.
Okay.
He's never an actual innocent, but he definitely plays the part of like, well, I don't really know what's going on here, but I think I can figure it out. Kind of, that's his shtick. Yeah.
He just seemed very naive throughout this episode. He seemed incredibly trusting of people who there was no value in trusting them. But
we did not get a Sweetie is alive moment. I mean, we still have an episode left, so you know.
He died. They put him in the truck. They put him in the ambulance.
They put a body in the truck, and they pointed out in the previously on that there were 2 people shot in that bar.
No,
they only put one body in the truck.
No. But Carolyn was there. We met Carolyn.
I'm not saying anything, Bryce, except they didn't put the nail in the coffin.
So in regards to Raylan suddenly becoming dumb, curious things happen once you have a child who's a teenager and you actually do become dumb. And I think they're just kind of in the writing coding him more as a loving father who has a day job, but also has his kid along. And
but he doesn't have his kid along
not here.
anymore. Remember, she went away in the second episode, so she hasn't been there for a while now.
Doesn't change the fact that he's a dad now, and being a dad makes you dumb.
I'm not saying dumb. I'm saying he's like trusting in a really unskillful way. He's trusting the wrong. I think that the Albanians coming and interjecting
I didn't get the
at the
sense
end.
that he didn't know that the Albanians would do that. I think he just thought he might be able to beat him, be a step ahead. He didn't look surprised. I don't think he's naive. He just moves a little slower. That's all.
I just felt like him telling the lawyer, if anyone remembers, the murderer's counsel, legal counsel. where the hidden murderer criminal was.
The person who is legally and morally obligated to put the interests of the murderer up front.
Like
we have well established that she has led him down a path of I have to defend him, but I want you to catch him, and has helped him. He has done exactly the same thing before and not had it backfire. So she has taught him I'm trustworthy.
Sure.
So I don't think it was as simple as like what a dumb move. It was more like I looked at it as like, oh wow, Carolyn is a lot more manipulative and planning than we were led to believe by what they showed us on the show up till now.
Yeah. The lawyer.
Lawyer. Sorry, not Carolyn. I messed that up. Yeah.
We got this was our first time seeing Carolyn, right? We had not seen her in a previous episode. Sweetie's for like de facto daughter, not a stepdaughter, family friend.
The person you're describing is somebody I had not seen, and I haven't seen this episode, so that must be right.
Yeah. It's the only thing weird about this show to me, guys, is like now we're getting the good stuff. Like now we're like meeting actually get Sweetie's backstory in this episode. It just happens to be right when he died. Like they only tried to like make us really care about Sweetie and the bar after he's dead, and the bar definitely burned down.
Yeah.
We're also humanizing Manziel.
Ooh.
Is that the guy from Logan? The Bo?
That's the guy you love and will never forget his name.
I remembered it. Bo.
There you go. Also, Carolyn is the lawyer.
Oh,
that's her.
Okay, she looked very different when
she shows up
at the crime
to
scene.
Identify the body, which we never see her do. She's got no makeup, her hair's pulled back in a ponytail. She looks very different than she does when she's like ready for work.
Oh, okay. Then I'll take that on me that I got that mixed up.
She was actually, put that on her. She was insufficiently fabulous in that moment.
Also, this show is now a period piece. Did you catch it, Tom?
Oh yes, 2019 was that
the Twitter got called out.
Oh, Twitter got called out.
They mentioned Twitter at
that's
one
right.
point. Yeah, I don't know. And is it going to be street justice? Is that what we see next episode in the finale? Is some street justice?
Well, so we got the showdown, right? We got the gun on the table, Manzel and Raylan, nobody else between them. Let's see what happens. And the Albanians came in and messed it up, right? They came in and said, "Sorry, Raylan, but this is our Albanian thing now." So basically, we have to figure out our way out of that to see if we can get some street justice. And if this is typical Justified, it won't be Raylan that executes it, but he'll let it happen or something like that.
I have not seen this episode, but from the way you described it, whatever that moment was with gun on the table, face off, remember that is the opening scene, because I was trying to explain Justified to Josie.
Yeah.
The very first scene in the very first episode is exactly in fact, now I want to go back and check when I watch it to see how much winking and nodding they do to, oh no, did you notice? We're doing exactly the very first scene of this whole show.
Oh, I missed that.
All right.
Well, I wouldn't have caught it, I guess, but
Yeah, I didn't catch it either.
I mean, I just happened to see it again.
Only one more left. Justified City Primeval, Season 1, Episode 7.
show's good.
Now let's talk about Miami Vice 420.
Yeah.
Season 4, Episode 20, A Bullet for Crockett. A show we were not going to watch because we don't watch every single Miami Vice, but when we found out it was a clip show, we couldn't resist until Brian resisted.
I
didn't watch
I really apologize. I mean, this is the one. First of all, it's funny that it's 420.
Brian, there's no apology necessary. Brian, you won.
Yeah.
What?
You definitely won.
You got the right.
What do you mean?
This episode sucks. This is such a bad episode. Like, this is bad. This is bad for. I have extra spin on why I think this is a bad episode. But Tom, can you lay this out?
I was actually surprised how much story they attempted because we knew this was a clip show. So what we see is a pastiche of flashbacks, sort of loosely organized around people getting shot.
Loosely, capital L loosely.
It's very directly. There's a couple of scenes where it's there's a bullet with your name out there, Crockett, and you're like, well, we know the bullet that got him, right? Because that happens at the beginning of the show. There's some that are just about other people being shot. I guess we're just remembering every time someone got shot on the show. Even when Tubbs got injured, we barely covered that scene. But it's all those flashbacks weaved in with them standing around in the hospital, waiting to see if Crockett is going to survive. He goes in to get operated on. The doctor, who I don't know about you, Bryce, I'm convinced he was an actual doctor because I'm pretty sure he wasn't an actor.
Because he certainly wasn't an actor.
Yeah. But he's like, I don't know if he's going to make it. And then they do the surgery. We
tried to get it, but it moved. The bullet moved.
But it moved. It's a moving bullet.
Yeah.
And it moved closer to his spine. And then they go back in again. And then they get it. And he has it in his hand when he comes out of surgery.
and he goes, we did it. Like there is no pomp and circumstance to this man being saved from a deadly bullet at all.
It actually happened in a hospital, frankly. That's why I'm like, I bet, is that guy actually a doctor?
Even everyone's reaction is really muted. So the next episode of Miami Vice we're going to watch is 422, I believe, right?
No, we have 421. We have 421, Deliver Us from Evil, Sheena Easton.
Oh, okay. Well, I also watched half of 422 because I got the episode wrong. And I was the way I made it through an entire half of an episode of Miami Vice is because it's the same story as this episode. Because Crockett gets shot. And
Two episodes later, he gets shot again?
He gets shot. He goes missing. They think he died, but he's actually been kidnapped. We'll get to it.
Is he shot by a different person?
No, he blows up. That's right. He's on a boat and it blows up.
He doesn't get shot.
Is it in that same quarry where they always blow up things?
This was not on the scene.
Quarry, obviously, yeah, because it got blown up, right? Good point.
I kept watching that episode thinking okay, so this is like a dream this is gonna be a dream at some point.
Where's the clips?
Where's the clips? Because you said that text. You sent that text before I saw it. Of there's more story to this than I thought. I thought, yeah, 40 minutes of story is a lot to not have any clips.
Yeah, but
and so this is anyway. So I watched that, and it's a good telling of the. Hey, we got a banger coming up in 2 weeks. But this is a much more much more inelegant version of that story. Like, you could definitely tell this is the Dick Wolf version of the story, and in 2 weeks it will be the not Dick Wolf version of the story.
I mean, this when I say it had more story than I expected, I mean, they keep going back to the hospital and having conversations and things that were originally shot for this episode. And I was kind of like, oh wow, there's a lot more to this than just the clips. At the same time, not much happens every time they go back. You know, it's Castillo and Gina and Tubbs and Switek. What's the CI? What's his name?
Moreno.
The
Moreno, yeah,
the crazy guy, yeah.
And that's a good
comes
clip.
to the hospital too. Yeah. To
Excuse me, you are stopping a want-to-be doctor from seeing a patient that he might eventually have.
yes, exactly. It's that guy.
I really want to see whatever clip it was. I think in one of the montages at the end. By the end of the episode, you could tell they're just doing action montages. They don't even care about making the clips.
Yeah.
But they do one where they're where they're in these power boats and they're going down the little canals of Florida, and it is so obvious that they had to speed it up because they couldn't drive the boats faster. And so you see the splashes, and the splashes are really fast, and they move really fast. And I'm like, that is the best. That's the best of. That's going on the clip show. Okay.
Yeah. I was pleased that most of the clips were from episodes we watched.
Were they? They were?
Yeah.
Most of them?
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Oh my God.
Most of them?
I would say 60% were from episodes we watched.
I guess we have watched a lot.
Or maybe they all just look the same, and they're like, if you see a beige wall, and then they show you a clip of a beige wall, how do you know which beige wall they're showing you?
No. The clips are more identifiable. There's the one where he sends the guy downstairs and he doesn't know the crocodile is there, and then the crocodile runs out. And
yeah, yeah. So this is a weird one. This is a really weird one. And then I got confused.
There's one from the pilot. Remember when Tubbs was running away from Crockett? Like, we don't get that one in the beginning. We get that one like midway through the clip show. We see the one where Tubbs and Crockett meet for the first time.
Yeah. And wasn't there there was another weird one. And I've lost it now. The clips fit in really weird too. Like, by the second half of the episode, they figure out, like, okay, someone's sitting next to Crockett and they're thinking about Crockett. So now the viewer understands
that
that
we'll show them in a clip. Yeah.
Oh, also at the beginning, that was it. Phil Collins.
Oh my God!
Coming in the Air Tonight came back.
Yeah.
In the very opening scene.
Kind of a clip show over the original footage, right? Like, they brought the song back, but it's over the stuff that was shot for this episode.
Yes. It wasn't from the first episode. Yeah.
Right.
Which confused me because I thought, well.
It confused me too. I was like, wait, is this a flashback already? Or yeah. Well,
that move sounds to me like somebody at legal pointed out that would be an uncomplicated way to use an existing license for the music.
Possibly,
maybe,
yeah.
Because that was, that
it was certainly the
big
biggest hit that came out of Miami Vice. It was on the Miami Vice soundtrack and all that, so it's probably good for promotions too, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I don't know if I would trade the joy I felt for Good Omens for the rage I'm hearing from you two, because part of me really wants to be in the club of people enraged by this, but I will not go watch it now on your recommendation.
You're gonna get the better story in 2 weeks anyway.
Yeah.
Tom, am I realizing this, that our multi-parter coming up is cross season?
Yes.
Oh no.
It's that's why, because I think originally we weren't going to do 422, but 421 feeds into part 1 422, which part 2 is 501 and part 3 is 502.
Oh doggone it, we're addicted.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Miami Vice.
But we will not be watching every episode of season 5. We'll go 1, 2, 3, but then 7, 11, etc.
Okay.
Any other thoughts on A Bullet for Crockett?
No.
That
We have a
is-
bullet for this episode from the outside view.
Exactly. That is Miami Vice, season 4, episode 20, A Bullet for Crockett. Now, next week is the Labor Day holiday where we celebrate labor. So we will not be doing an episode, but we will be back on September 10th. I will not be here for that episode, but we will, for that episode, be talking about Good Omens, the finale, season 2, episode 6, Justified City Primeval, the finale, season 1, episode 8, and Deliver Us from Evil, Miami Vice, season 4, episode 21, starring Sheena Easton, who is also in the clip show because, she was in shows. That is it for Spoilerin Time. Thanks, everybody, for watching us. We are retooling Spoilerin Time a little, along with the regular Cordkillers, as we acknowledge the new era in which we live. So stay tuned for details on that in a couple of weeks. And of course, if you're a patron, go check out our detailed conversations about it in Aftertalk, patreon.com/Cordkillers. We'll spoil you again next time.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.